I'm Juan Davies, Chief Creative Officer at KCET and PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How is everyone?
Hey, Juan.
And thanks again for joining us, and great to see you again, Megan. You're filling in for Adrian Hill again this week.
And it's always a pleasure to be here, Juan.
Let's start today with the ongoing protests in Palmdale, where many people want answers about the death of Robert Fuller, a 24-year-old man hanged in a tree near City Hall. Emily, you've been following that story. What is the latest?
Yeah, so the big news today is that the LA County Sheriff's Department has walked back their initial finding that the death of Robert Fuller in Palmdale was probably a suicide. That's what they said at the beginning. They said that there was no evidence of foul play or a sign of struggle. And that really angered a lot of community members there. You know, Fuller's own family has come out and said he did not have a documented history of mental health issues. They were very concerned about that. A lot of that anger we saw this weekend as community members came together and rallied at the spot where he was found hanging and marched to the Sheriff's Department. Now the Sheriff's Department is really looking through the evidence.
It has not completed. We're still in the middle of the investigation.
Basically saying that all cause of death is on the table, which the community members are grateful that the kind of initial likely a suicide definition has now been pushed back.
Libby has been reporting on some heated discussions over at LA City Hall about the future of funding for Los Angeles police.
That's right. Activists from Black Lives Matter LA took their case for defunding the police from the streets to the city council chambers today. BLM is the lead author of the People's Budget, which is a proposal asking the city to invest in services like housing, mental health care, and child care development instead of police. A panel of organizers presented the People's Budget to the chairs of several key city council committees this morning. And this would fund alternative forms of community safety like domestic violence intervention and conflict resolution. Following the presentation, the council's budget committee passed a motion directing the city's financial analysts to identify up to $150 million in cuts to the LAPD's budget. But this isn't a done deal yet. Paul Koretz, one of the council members, voiced concern that they were going to chop the police budget without adequate analysis. And on the other hand, activists say $150 million is not nearly enough, and they want to see a much bigger change in how government provides for community safety.
Between the pandemic and the protests, Austin has been reflecting on what he calls the hidden cost of inherited Blackness.
Yeah, Megan, over the past few weeks, you might have heard people talk about concepts like the talk in Black households. And that's often a conversation or many conversations that Black parents have with their kids about just how to be in public and how to stay safe in public. And recently I've been thinking about just how many of the things I was taught by my dad about being Black in public and how often I apply his lessons to my everyday life. And the point is that these kind of daily safety measures can be a bit confining. And I question why they even exist to begin with. So this is a personal story for me, but one that I think might resonate with a lot of other Black people.
Finally, Sharon has an answer to a question I'm sure I'm not the only one asking, which is, now that more of us are at home, what is happening to all of the garbage we are generating?
Absolutely. I mean, all the takeout meals, we've got soda bottles and cardboard from Amazon boxes and bottles, and it's all been piling up. And about half of the recyclables never got the chance to be reused or sold for value. They ended up in a landfill. And here's why. The big recycling plants where these things go to be sorted out and baled up and sold or reused, they closed during the pandemic. The problem was that a lot of the companies that do this work didn't know how to make their workers safe. They didn't have enough room for their workers to be sufficiently separated. They might have needed more equipment for hands and face and eyes. And so that's what happened. 12 of 29 recycling plants that serve the county area, and one of the two big plants that serves the city, closed. And so your recyclables, a lot of them just went straight to the landfill.
Well, thank you so much at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. And thank you for tuning in. Take care of your neighbor, take care of your health, your family, and we will see you tomorrow.